Oh, your elbows are dry. You're never having kids.
Was that dumpster doctor you were telling us about, Shae?
Yeah,
It was a
doctor.
magnetism doctor, and my mom took me there.
That's everything you need to know.
Yeah.
It's a magnetism doctor.
And he just like passed things over my body, and then he was like, because I was having hormone issues, and he said, "You're infertile."
And he's like, you know what's the best way to track hormones? Magnets.
I don't know.
Musical Monday, Musical Monday. The bad thing about tennis is...
All of those nasty arch-nemesis.
Musical Monday! Yeah!
Tyler, what a bunch of chords we got on that one.
Tyler the
That's
chord
right,
man.
I hit a note. Not one from the chord, but I nailed a note.
Hello and welcome back to Musical Monday with Zach and Shae at ImprovBroadway. I'm Zach.
I'm Shae.
And we're here at ImprovBroadway, and joined with us, of course, is whatever the opposite of a nemesis, a friendess is, Caleb on the keys. And joined with us all the way from Moisty, Washington, we have Tyler Dawson. Recently laid off from Google and looking for work.
That's why I'm here.
We all know that the top talent recruiters come to Musical Improv Podcast to find a headhunt. And so I'm going to give you 2 lines of your resume, Tyler.
All right.
That's one.
Tyler Dawson at .com.
That's 2.
And it's not the right email address. I panicked. But send something there. I'm sure it'll get forwarded.
Qualtrics listens to this, so
Yeah.
you got a lot of options.
Listen up. Tyler, we brought you on here because we love your opinions of stuff.
And
Thank
he's a
you.
dear friend that we
And-
haven't seen for years.
And we love you.
And
You want more? And he is pretty tall.
And he can do a good cat meow.
He can. Let's hear that meow.
Meow.
That's pretty
It's
good.
really good. Can you do like one that's where the cat's like excited?
You do one where the cat's getting neutered.
Do one where a cat is struggling with the complicated history of the nuclear bomb. Tyler, you're a very brilliant guy, and something I always loved when chatting and conversing with you is that you had like hot takes and like you had read like interesting books or read articles, and I want to know what's your favorite musical that no one's ever heard of.
oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad you asked. I've been reading a lot lately, and I like to read my musicals. I don't like to
Yeah, of
go
course.
see them.
You read the sheet music too.
You read
huh?
the sheet music, and you kind of do it in your head, and just I think it's
Yeah.
the more true way to experience
course.
musicals without any of those pesky, interpretations. It's just the way the screenwriter, just the way the author meant it. And recently, I just finished reading one that actually has been put on locally, and it's called Arch-nemesis. The musical.
I love Arch-nemesis. It was the sister musical to Best Frenzies.
Oh yeah, that one was okay, but yeah,
I didn't read through that one, but I smelled through it, and it's pretty solid.
Good smell.
Yeah.
Good
Smells like a
smelling.
bookstore.
Yeah.
It's also the sequel to Friends, the TV show, right?
yeah.
So instead
It's
of
all in the same universe.
instead of 4 friends living in an apartment together, it's 4 people who hate each other.
Hate each other,
And they all
living
have
in a
to-
fountain.
Yeah.
But it's a big fountain, and you're like, how could they afford this
And
size of a
and,
fountain?
and in the credits, they push each other into an apartment,
Yeah.
but they all live in the fountain for real.
And it's furnished and it's nice. And
Yeah.
one of them's a teacher, and you're like, yeah, on that salary? What's
Yeah.
the deal?
And they have a little pet human who makes his way into the show in and out, and it crops up on their shoulder. It's just it's just a huge parallel from Friends.
Do they have a pet animal?
Yeah, in Friends they have a monkey. Everyone knows the opposite of a monkey is a human.
I forgot that in science. Yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot that I learned that.
Yeah, I've read that too. So
Well, Tyler, crack open this tome for us. How does the beginning of Arch-nemesis begin?
yeah, well, you see 2 people that you think they're going about their day. They have a lot of similar attributes. They like similar things, and you're kind of seeing this. I guess it would be like stage left and stage right or something, but on the page, it's just literally half of the page, and then the other half of the page described it. And they're going through kind of like parallel schedules, and you're like, oh, these people, they're gonna meet, they're gonna like fall in love. They're perfect matches, right?
Yeah.
But you get to the Ross Dress for Less.
Another friend's parallel.
Another friend's parallel. Yeah.
So fascinating.
Yeah. At the end of all their errands, at the end of all their like things, they meet there at the Ross Dress for Less, and just instant enemies. You can see it in their eyes. You can see it on the words on the page, and you can hear it in the song.
Yeah, they don't see fireworks when they meet each other. They just see fire. And it's not working. And work.
Which I don't like.
I don't like that either.
They both reach for the same pair of penny loafers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite one being about 1.5 foot taller, they both have really tiny.
Tiny feet. And we all know what they say about enemies with tiny feet.
Small heads.
Small heads. And they have minuscule heads. And if I remember correctly, they just start off just like berating each other and nitpicking how small the other person's head is.
Oh, absolutely. And it comes across as weird because they are basically insulting themselves because they look basically identical, height difference aside.
Yeah.
And just they're wearing similar clothes, so it feels like they're kind of, talking about their own insecurities at the same time.
That's what it says in the script, which is why it would be so annoying to see it live, because how are you going to get two people that look the same?
Right. That wouldn't happen.
What a casting nightmare. What are we going to have the Olsen twins do this? No, they're out of work.
Well, they wouldn't even work. They don't look similar enough.
The script is very particular about how similar they look, except for about 1.5 feet of height difference. So.
Yeah, it's probably one of the reasons that this is I think the first musical we'll have reviewed that has never been performed live. It's just in the script.
Yeah. When Tyler said it was performed locally, I mean, it was just distributed locally
it was
for
a
reading.
It was a reading.
It was just
right.
a reading, yeah. Yeah.
That's performing to me. It's still too much a departure from the author's
You
original intent.
love the performance of The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Because you hear it and you say, it's not how it sounded in my head.
Jim Dale, he was so much better than the movies ever could be.
Way better. That's actually true.
Who's the narrator in your head? What do your mind thoughts sound like? Who speaks?
For most plays, it ends up being David Attenborough.
But for those special plays,
Which is crazy when you read Grease.
I've got chills. They're multiplying.
Hey, Sandy.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Did you go very far in your car?
That's just how I remember it. That's so good.
I'm not throwing away my shot. From Hamilton.
Oh, yeah. No, I had a different
That-
voice for Hamilton.
Well, we see this this explosion of hatred. And remind me what the song title was again?
It's not me, it's you.
Hey.
Those are my penny loafers.
I'm pretty sure they're my penny loafers.
Then they're hideous penny loafers.
Well, I wanted to get them for me so I could show you what you should wear, Grosso.
Well, I was gonna get them for me so I could throw them at you.
Hey, move over. Don't touch those penny loafers. I and you could never be lovers now. Hey, you uggos, don't touch those sheepskin uggos, because I also think those shoes are mine. How could some with a tiny head like yours ever think that you deserve something as nice as leather shoes right here in this store?
It's not you, it's me. But it's not me, it's you.
It's not you, it's me. But it's not me, it's you.
I guess you couldn't afford to shop at TJ Maxx, so you had to go and peruse at the Ross discount rack. Oh, how it must feel to shop so cheaply. Can't even afford to
that you've had your fill, because I saw your shopping bags from Goodwill. I hope that you will get a chance one day to shop at Target.
Well, thrifting is new and good. Not that you ever would do a nice thing for a single person. That's why your wallet is her tip.
Hey, where did you get that romper? I think I saw you ruffling around in the dumpster. Where did you get that Apple Watch? Oh, actually, it is Samsung.
I got this from Steve Jobs himself right before he died. So now you should ask yourself why.
It's not me, it's you. Oh, wait, it is not you, it is me.
Let me finish my thought. Ask yourself why you're making fun of me when I'm just like you. It's not me, it's you.
Wait, no, let me finish my thought. No, I have a thought.
No,
I
it's
think
not
you
me,
are the
it's you.
opposite of a thought.
No,
You're not
it's
a
not
thought,
me,
you are
it's
caught.
you.
I gross. And when
it's
I'm
not
around
me,
you,
it's
I'm
you.
feeling so
You're not-
lost.
you're not
Looking at you
even
makes me
good
feel
at
like I'm looking at a
You're not
circus
even
mirror.
good at
A circus
interrupting
mirror.
me. You're
I'm the
not
best at
even good at
interrupting. If
interrupting
people
me.
were listening,
Shut
they'd only
up.
think there's only one person talking. I think that you should get out of your start walking. Back
La, la,
to
la,
the
la,
garbage store.
I'm
Back
not
to the
listening.
toilet plant.
La,
Blah, blah,
la,
blah,
la,
blah, blah,
la,
blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. You're a baby, a uterus, a tiny little zygote. You're a tiny little sperm and egg. I think you have ugly legs.
Well, a sperm and an egg is valuable if you can't have children, so that's cool.
And you will never have children because
You're
you're a fool.
infertile.
You're infertile. You're infertile. It's not me. It's you. Wait, it's you.
I'm curious to hear your take
From
on the infertility bit. Because
it escalated
Unnecessarily.
laterally
yeah.
somehow.
it seems really insensitive to
Absolutely.
It just went from physical to, hey, you've got fertility problems.
And like I get it. A doctor told me I was infertile.
A crazy doctor.
I don't know if it was it is what do you call a
A
doctor?
dermatologist.
A chiropractor.
Oh, your elbows are dry. You're never having kids.
Was that dumpster doctor you were telling us about, Shae?
Yeah,
It was
dumpster
a
doctor.
magnetism doctor, and my mom took me there.
That's everything you need to know.
Yeah.
It's a magnetism doctor.
And he just like passed things over my body, and then he was like, because I was having hormone issues, and he said, "You're infertile."
And he's like, you know what's the best way to track hormones? Magnets.
I don't know. My mom said, "Trust me," and I said, "If Cerise is paying."
Free doctor? You kidding me? Free samples?
Healthcare's expensive nowadays.
Shae pocketed so many magnets out of that guy's
Yeah.
office.
All those tongue depressors? This is half of a lollipop.
I got so many magnets now.
So, Tyler, what did you think of the infertility part?
I thought it was actually important. I thought it was essential to moving the story along because up until then, we didn't know what their occupations were. And for them to give those helpful diagnoses and like to start offering, solutions.
And they're both fertility magnet
doctors. I don't know how many magnets were involved.
Yeah.
Specifically, that wasn't in the
Just said many.
written version. Many, yeah.
So there were
There were magnets involved, and there were many. But that can mean a lot of things.
But I
to
don't
a lot
know
of
how
people.
many.
Right. That's what I said.
At first I thought you were going to say we didn't know if they were infertile. And so that's why it was important that they say that.
So you're saying they're both, with their doctor knowledge, could just look at
They
each
could-
other and they both knew the other was infertile.
Yeah. And, being fertility doctors, they had diagnosed themselves the same, but having that second opinion
That's right.
was just so essential.
And
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It's a wild arc because normally when you find an arch-nemesis, like what's your number one motivation? You want
Revenge.
revenge, and you want to beat them. You want to show them that you're better than them. And so they're both set on this path to get pregnant first. They want to show the other person that they're actually very fertile.
Yeah, so that is what happens next. But Tyler, what scene spoke to you after that? It could be that one, but it could be another one.
Well, immediately after that,
Just the next song that you were like, oh yeah, this is what I remember.
this is what I want to hear performed
Yeah.
Yeah.
at a community theater.
If
No,
you
like
had
Right,
to.
right.
I mean, there's like 3 or 4 songs within the time. Like, which ones do you-
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, then in that case, it does skip down a little bit, and it skips down 10 years, was it?
Wow, that's a huge.
It's a couple
time skip.
pages, but it's
Yeah.
10 years. And they both have a child at this
Whoa.
point. Yeah, both were wrong. They,
Because they
About
were magnet
themselves and the
doctors. They were too fertile.
very important to have a second opinion, but it can still both be wrong. And in this
Yeah, it
case,
doesn't matter if you get a second opinion if they're both wrong.
yeah. And then their children are about the same age.
Oh yeah, and they're in school.
They're in school together.
On the
yeah.
tennis team, right?
They're in school in tennis. There were eight-year-old
tennis
tennis
class.
players at the tennis club. Yeah, and they're serving at each other.
Both at the same
as
time.
part of a
2
drill.
balls.
Yeah, it's a focus drill to make sure that you can withstand the audience and the cheers and the jeers from the audience.
Right.
But this time you're just serving at each other at the same time.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back and forth, and it feels kind of like a tennis match as the song progresses.
Yeah, they sort of volley over the lyrics to each other, kind of finishing each other's rhymes.
Yeah.
And what does this? Because Tyler, I know this section you related to in your own personal life.
Yeah.
What rubs the one person the wrong way, and why is he rubbing him?
Well, it's all about, again, I think this musical is so much about what makes people similar and what makes people different, and how the same side of the coin, like opposites attract,
yeah.
that sort of a thing. And I think it's just that they do feel evenly matched, and that they kind of had that same dynamic that their parents had so long ago. That I'm this way, this is supposed to be my identity, and then you see someone that's the same, and it's like, I gotta prove that I'm the better version of me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There can't be a copy of me.
What other personality qualities do you feel like they have in common?
Well, they're both very, very giving. They're both very encouraging, and that's where this, I think, takes such a different turn from the previous song.
Oh,
is they're
yeah.
both so encouraging of the other person that's what ends up being the one-upsmanship. Is that they're so charitable and so loving that they want to prove that they're, just
The
kind of one up.
most.
Yeah.
Oh, I know one of those.
One of those, huh? One
Yeah.
of those compliment one-uppers.
Yep.
Yeah. What do they do?
There's some pretty good examples in the song.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's just say, what's the song
This
called?
is backhanded compliments.
Oh,
Oh.
that's good.
Wait, so they're not. So it's still spiteful and mean?
It's still compliments, but there's an undertone
But there's an
of
undertone.
see.
Obviously, Zach.
rivalry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Obviously. I like your sweater, but you can have mine. Because I know you probably found yours in the lost and find.
You're so good at conjugating nothing I could be hating. I can't wait to play more with you.
Here's the ball. I hope that you can catch it. That's okay, you did it. We're all just trying, isn't it so cool to play with friends, best friends? I hope that this game never ends.
Never ends.
Especially since your dad is always late to pick you up. I guess it would be hard to see a half-empty cup, but you're so positive, even when the life you live sucks. Backhanded compliments. Backhanded compliments.
Wow, you must be the most popular girl in school. 'Cause I see everyone pointing at you and calling you a fool. A fool, of course, means the village jester. Everyone laughs at you and never gets the best of you. It's pretty cool how you have to walk home, and you have the confidence to always walk alone. And I thought this was pretty bum, that you protested dances by not getting invited to prom.
You're so brave to wear Skechers to school. That must mean that you've got some cool people who believe in you, even when you don't. If I were you, I would be sad.
Sad, I would also be sad. Sad, 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 sad. If any backhanded compliments were had. Sad, 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 sad. If any backhanded You wanted to skip the other song to go to that one?
That's the one I really wanted to It's just a visual, just the repartee back and forth,
Wow.
left and right. Wow.
But Tyler, I mean,
Yeah, Zach.
all musicals must end. And this musical had at least 6 endings. So you get to choose which one was your favorite.
It's like Clue.
Yeah. And that's, again, another thing that I love about reading this musical is you kind of just like flip back and forth, page this,
Yeah.
page that.
Died by the Yeti, go back.
The first time I read this musical, I died on page 3.
Wow.
I had to start all the way over.
What was the choice right before you died?
It was to swallow the magnets.
Oh no!
Figured getting closer to the core would be better, but no. Scientifically, no. Way too many magnets.
Way too many.
But the one that I do like is it's more of a happy ending. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's what brings me resolution.
That's sweet.
That's
Yeah.
very kind.
And in this one, it's really fun to see the kind of this attitude get resolved and find themselves looking at their similarities in a way that can bring them together instead of always just being so divisive and so competitive.
Right. And who are the people we're talking about?
We're talking about those kids and their parents, because when the parents come to pick them up,
Yeah.
finally the dad arrives on time, and finally the other dad says, hey, you don't have to walk home alone. And it's a long walk. But finally these 8-year-olds get picked up by their dads on time.
Wow.
So is this all 4 of them?
All 4 are there.
But only 2 sing?
I mean, the dads and their sons sound a lot alike.
Yeah. So they interchange with each other.
Well, this
Very
was,
similar mind blowing.
when you saw this, it was a reading, so you also couldn't tell who was who.
I had no idea.
So just a
You
song
have name
is sung.
blindness, right?
Right, absolutely. And I never heard. I walked in a couple minutes late, so I wasn't quite sure even the
To the
characters'
reading.
names. That's why we haven't added any names so far.
Yeah.
Because we know the names, but
Yeah, we know.
yeah.
So 4 characters are singing, but we will not distinguish who is who, and we won't distinguish either.
And we won't extinguish the flames of these songs.
And I think that's the way it's meant to be.
Yeah. And we won't replinquish the song.
Never.
Never again.
And we won't mix up things that are appropriate for adults to say or things that are appropriate for kids to
You'll
say
know
or
from
adults
context
to say to
who's-
kids or kids to adults.
Right.
You'll just have to figure it out with context clues.
Mhm.
What's the song called?
It's called Match Point.
Get in the car.
This car?
Hop on, boys, get in the car.
Both of us?
Yeah.
Hey, you're looking pretty good. It's been a while. My kid doesn't have any more to walk a while. I guess maybe you have a really nice smile.
Should we tell the boys that something's been happening? Something that's a little romancing? Should we let them in on a secret that we've been dating for a while?
sure, but I'm afraid to tell my dad. I think if I tell him, it might make him sad.
Yeah, and I call my dad at the boys.
Well, that's match point. That's match point. That's match point. That's match point. In the game of life, you go back to and fro. We were arch-nemesis, but now I think we're bros. And I won't let the age gap bother me, not at all.
Do you want candy? It's not that weird coming from me, 'cause I'm your dad and it's not creepy to offer you some candy.
And also this nice soda can. What do you say? I hop into the back of my van. It's not really tough and it's not real hard. Hey, you gang, you want some Pokemon cards?
Just look at my greasy ponytail. There's nothing to fear over there. It's just a big, long, greasy bunch of hairs, and you can trust me.
This is match point. This is match point. This is match
Just four dudes can decide our age, but two of us are old enough to make a living wage.
I know this sounds from me kind of insane, but I think that I'm going through some growing pains.
I'm going through puberty, but I'm the kid that's older than 19.
If this is inappropriate, just tell me when to stop. But I think I just felt my balls drop.
Balls being tennis balls.
Of
I dropped my tennis balls, just watch them fall.
Match point. Oh, that's match point. Way to go, my boys.
Which is what I call my dad.
It's what I call my sons.
We're so similar, but so different.
It's
Sometimes
so
I think
different,
that
so
you're heaven sent.
similar.
We're so similar, we're
But
so
so
different.
different.
Do you ever wonder how our life could have went if when we saw each other at Ross Dress for Less, we had said, looking at you's like looking in a mirror. Maybe we could have the best.
Yeah, I think about
You
how
cut
to
me
run.
off again.
Hey, we've established I'm better
I guess
at
I
talking.
actually hate
Oh,
the
I think I'm better at talking than you. You're barely fertile.
match point.
That's match point.
And
That's match point. Your fertility was a fluke. It was a fluke. You only can have one boy. I could have more if I
I
wanted
didn't
to.
wear protection cause I thought I was infertile.
Well, I
But then
wore
found
protection
out
and I
that
still got pregnant.
Well, the other person wore protection.
We didn't even kiss once and I still got knocked up.
Birth control has a 99.9% success rate, and I'm the 1%. But that doesn't matter because
What's this? Adoption
When
papers.
you
You sons
let me
adopted.
off again.
Match point. Match point. Match point. Match point. Match point. Hey guys, stop interrupting each other. Just let each other talk. Now you go.
No, I think we're going home.
That's match point. You're nothing like them, son. A very happy
That's my favorite
ending.
ending.
That was the happiest out of all of them, right?
Absolutely.
Because they were toxic together.
Yeah, and learning to just
Separate
not
this-
separate it sometimes happens.
Like
Sometimes you have to.
magnets.
Like magnets.
You gotta spin them
Sometimes
around,
magnets
push them
stick
away.
and some repel. Excellent point.
Some magnets repel. There's no other explanation. You get one magnet, it'll repel. Another magnet, it'll attract. That's just how magnets
That's how
work.
magnets
That's
work.
how
You've got two
they
kinds of
work.
magnets.
It's science. There's still only 2 types of magnets.
And if you would have figured that out earlier, you probably wouldn't have died on 3. I made it to 17.
Jeez, that's
Yeah.
pretty good on your first time.
Wow.
I didn't swallow them, but I stuck them on either side of my throat.
Okay,
Closed off
right
my
there.
passageway.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
no, that'll
Yeah,
get
because
you too.
I should have spun them the other way.
With the heavy ones.
Mm. And unfortunately, what's heavy right now is this episode has to end. And we hope that you appreciate our differences and you don't act like a negative side magnet and repel from us. We hope that you'll stick with us now and forever because you are our arch-nemesis while you're our best friend Elise. And we hope that you will arch your back and stretch
Like
and
So many
again,
cats.
Tyler the cat.
like a kitty cat and purr as you watch every episode with us, your dearest friends.
Give him a purring outro, Tyler.
You know how to roll your R's?
Oh, that's good.
That's different
That's
than
all.
I've ever seen, but I like it. I've never seen
And that's
it.
here for us at Musical Monday. Or should we call it Meowsical Meow Day?